Perfect. Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, everyone, to the Empowered Woman Speaker Series, Discover Your Confident, Worthy, Powerful You. The Empowered Woman Speaker Series is for you if you are ready to believe in yourself, to know your worth, and feel confident in yourself and what you offer the world. We're going to be here for 90 minutes to be inspired, empowered, uplifted, and to transform limiting beliefs and fears into new beliefs that will take you to the next level in your life and your business. We have some incredible speakers today. We're going to have to move fairly quickly through everyone due to time constraints. So if you have questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the chat section and we can answer them there. The speaker order today will be Jill Lublin, who will be speaking on the profit of kindness. I will be speaking next on how to stay positive and confident during times of challenge. Larissa Popov will be speaking on how to ignite your money magnetism, 3 energetic secrets to create an abundant life and business. And Andrea Stenberg will be speaking on simple steps to show up confidently on video, even if you think you're not ready. So excited to hear from everyone today. We are on Zoom and Facebook Live. It only is sharing as friends only for some reason, even though I keep putting it as live. So if you're able to click the share button, please spread the word. I'm going to try to make it public again. So hopefully that will work. If you're not able to share it, that's okay. But if you would mind going to my profile and trying to share that so that we can impact the most people today. And I'm going to share the link here. And if you're already, okay. Okay, Mary Beth, let me know what you're going to share then. Okay, so sorry. Okay, if you aren't already part of the Confident Woman community on Facebook, please go to the link in the chat as well. I'd love to have you there. It's a group of, it's my group on Facebook that we talk about how to be more confident, how to be more bold, and I share other things going on in the community. So I am on a mission to support and empower as many women as possible. So if you wouldn't mind joining that, that would be great. Okay, so Jill is actually out sick today. So we're going to have a recording of Jill. And I was just told we're going to be talking about actually publicity today, not kindness. So we are doing a little bit of a shift here. So sorry about that, everyone. So I will bring Jill's recorded message on now. So let's see, I'm going to spotlight Jill's. Okay, here we go. Okay, Mary Beth, if you wouldn't mind putting on the recording, that would be great.
Ready to go.
Perfect.
Jill Lublin is called the media magnet for a reason. She's a force of nature in the powerful world of publicity. International speaker? Check. Coach, consultant, and trainer? Check. Author of 4 best-selling books? Check. Her books include Guerrilla Publicity, Get Noticed, Get Referrals, Networking Magic, and The Profit of Kindness. She's featured in national and international media including ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, CBC, Forbes, and Inc., just to name a few. And she's shared the stage with legends like Tony Robbins, Barbara Corcoran, T. Harv Eker, Jack Canfield, Lisa Nichols, Richard Simmons, Mark Victor Hansen, and John Gray. Jill Lublin is, quite simply, everything publicity. But she doesn't just talk publicity, networking, and referrals. Jill lives and breathes it, so entrepreneurs and businesses can gain more visibility and profitability. And she's spent over 2 decades leaving a trail of amazing success stories in her wake. And if that isn't inspirational enough, Jill's latest book, The Profit of Kindness, introduces the revolutionary concept of kindness as a competitive advantage. Now that's something worth talking about. Ready to learn about publicity and how you can rock the stage, own the page, burst onto the scene, and hit the screen? Please join me in welcoming the founder of Jill Lublin Publicity, Jill Lublin.
day, you are in the right place to create that. I'll call it flip the switch, right? Flip the switch. You like my little, this literally came off my walls, but just saying, I don't know that my husband was happy about it, but I want you to flip the switch. Who's ready to do that about your publicity game? Yes? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Yes, yes? Beautiful. Good. Thank you. Thank you, Sandy. I saw that. I appreciate that. You know, the thing about getting out there and creating visibility is that it's really learning how to, check it out, blow your own horn, even when you feel like it's a kazoo, right? Because the reality is you've got to still get out there, create visibility, and guess what you're all doing no matter what? Publicity, my friends. You're always doing publicity here in the Zoom rooms, out in the streets, at the Starbucks and wherever else you have coffee. You're always doing publicity. So with that in mind, I want you to be aware of the power of connecting so that your visibility gets out there quickly. So just so you know how we're going to go, we end right at the top of the hour here, where I'm going to pour in some content for you, give you real world things to do about publicity. I'm going to take some questions from you, and I'm also going to let you know how you can continue this wonderful journey with me. Ready, set, go? Come on, give me a thumbs up. Yes, beautiful. Thank you. So, you know, I'll tell you what I did. I brought you flowers. See the pretty flowers? I like sunflowers. So I brought you sunflowers from San Francisco so that you can plant your publicity garden. And I want you to plant your publicity garden for now, for 30 days, for 60 days, for 90 days, and keep that visibility factor going. Because the power of what publicity does is that we want to seed right now, right now, and we want to keep going for the future. And I want you to, well, plant your publicity garden because you need to know that it's evolutionary. In other words, you're promoting something right now, and then perhaps you're going to launch something later, right? Like in my case, every time I have a new book, Mary Beth mentioned I had 4 books, there's the new publicity campaign, right? And for you, whatever you're launching, whatever your product and service is, there are different seasons. So we grow your publicity garden completely. The power of what publicity does is that it gives you influence and impact, right? And that what it's doing is connecting you right now to your clients and your prospects. Let me just ask you, put in the chat, what do you think publicity does for you? Let me see it. Let me see it. What does publicity do for you? You put it in the chat. Let me see what you think it does, because that's important too. But I'll tell you, one of the things while you're writing that it does is gives you influence, right? And trust in the marketplace, because people know you, see you, connect to you. And frankly, that's a key and important for your visibility building. And just, you know, I think that's a key for all of you to say, that people know you more, connect to you more, and they see your energy, right? They see who you are and what you care about and how you communicate, and I think that that's really important. So you want to connect to your influence and be that powerful publicity, high ROI that it brings to you. And by the way, does anybody like M&Ms? Let me see my M&M lovers. Come on, be honest, be honest. Yes, thank you. Do you like peanut M&Ms? Yes. I mean, so. Okay, that's some of my favorites, and I don't care what color they are, and I don't eat them a lot, just saying. But what I love about the power of publicity is that it is, we're at the holiday season, a gift that keeps on giving. Yes, it's a gift that keeps on giving. What do I mean by that? Think about M&Ms, yes? Well, I've got the 3 M's for you, and that is monetize you, magnetize you, and multiply you. And yes, Sandy, publicity does give you credibility and visibility, absolutely. And what it also does is it gives you the 3 M's, which is to magnetize you, to multiply you, and to monetize you. So we love that, right? And so with that, I want to show you how to put together a great and powerful message. And that is a message that will impact others and give the media something to talk about, right? And so what I mean by that is you want to be the voice of influence. You want to be the person, the resource. Think about this. The media calls the people they interview sources. So that would be you, a source, an expert. And what publicity does is gives your message meaning, right? And gives you a foundation to stand on. So if you look at the first two letters of message, what is it? Me. Exactly. You. And if you look at the last four letters of message, what's it spell? Sage. In the word message is me, sage. Ha ha. Yes. In the word message is me, sage. In the word message is also mess. That's what I want you to avoid, your mess, a mess, and actually get your message right. So the way to do that is to do this. Fill in this blank. The problem today is, and what would that be? What would that be? What's the problem out there? Okay, so write that down. What's the problem out there? I didn't say, what do you do? And this, my friends, is something you really have to get off of. Stop saying what you do and start talking about what's the problem today. Ooh, big shift, big implication of getting you into media. What's the problem today? Okay, and then I want you to give 3 solutions. Why 3? Because people can remember in 3s, and when you're being interviewed, you typically only have like 4 minutes on a big station. You got to get to the point, you got to punch it, and then you got to get out. Okay, so I want you to just understand that. Punch it, get out, and connect it so that you can create that visibility quickly. Okay, and that'll be really, really helpful for you. Now, one thing you can do is to use your, what I like to call, ooh, ah factor. Yes, use your ooh, ah factor. I even wrote it out on the screen so you can spell it properly. And that is to create your visibility factor by using everything you've got. Now, this is a really hot topic that enables most people to shift quickly. And I think that that's important. And when you're doing that, you want to use everything you've got by, for instance, your ethnicity, your religion, your being a woman for International Women's Day, being Christian for Christian media, being African American for Black History Month, being Hispanic for Hispanic media. How can you use everything you've got? And I want you just right now to be thinking about that. What can you be doing to use everything you've got? And I think that that's really important. So with that, I think what I want to take you, where I want to take you next is some hot topics, my friends. So what do I mean by that? I mean, look at the screen, take a photo of these. These are really good for you to get into right now. Health and mental health, mindset, transformation, activism, right? AI and ChatGPT, we've got a lot. And by the way, do not rely on that for your publicity. Every client I've had who've looked up their bio, for instance, guess what's wrong? Their bio, just saying. So be careful of that. And by the way, as you're looking at this, write in the chat, what would you, hot topic, perhaps be connected to on this? Go ahead and write it in the chat if you've got a moment to do that. That would be great. And while you're doing that, about which hot topic fits you, I want to give you some visibility building activities, right? And these are completely free. Take a screenshot of this. This is the kind of thing you want to know. And I want you to, for instance, network in your community. Follow reporters on social media. Whatever you're into, there's reporters there. Karen, great on health and coaching and mindset. Excellent. Thank you. I want you to sign up for Google Alerts, and Mary Beth's going to put in the chat the link to take you to Google Alerts, which will be very helpful for you to list your name in. And that way, when the media talks about you, notice I said when, not if, when the media talks about you, you will know. And on top of that, my friends, let me just suggest to you that you can also what I would do is connect to like one phrase, for instance. So for instance, when my book, Profit of Kindness, came out, I put in the word kindness. And that way I discovered that, did you know that November 13th is World Kindness Day? Neither did I until I actually registered for Google Alerts. Or when Guerrilla Publicity came out, 3rd edition, I put in the word publicity and saw when the media is talking about publicity. So this is a really good strategy to help you quickly. I love nationaldaycalendar.com. And remember those topics we talked about earlier? You can look up under nationaldaycalendar.com and see when are they talking about your topic. That's a really super great thing. Now, I want you to go to iTunes and look up podcasts that are particular to your arena. And that will also really be helpful. Again, one phrase, one word, that's all that you need. And see who's talking about you. I love Blog Talk Radio. It's increased their format. It's all these wonderful talk show hosts. And you know what they need? Guests. Guests just like you. And helperreporter.com is a wonderful resource, completely free, for the opportunity to get your visibility out there. Now, my friends, here's what else. I want to show you how we did this. Some of these actual principles I'm talking about with the Profit of Kindness. Again, this is book number 4 for me. Super excited. And I'm going to tell you, look at all that media we got. Yes, the bottom third of the slide is literally only a third of some of the media we got. And the reason we got this much, including 7, count them, 7 Fox News interviews, Fox News in the first 30 days, not because Jill's got a book. Most of my clients who I do publicity with, they're in all sorts of industries. Many of them don't have books. It's about pushing the right button and finding the right message. And in this case, it was the divided states of America. And in fact, to be honest, for international, it's the divided world. I mean, we've got all kinds of issues going on, and that is worth something talking about. Now, now we've been in Inc. magazine twice, and as well as Forbes magazine twice, right? And so one of my inspirations was that I wanted to do a kindness circle and keep conscious kindness going. So we are now spreading kindness, and I'm going to invite you, please join us. It's completely free. It's in the chat. Once a month we do kindness circles, and just register, and then you'll get it. If for whatever reason you can't attend this one, you'll get recurring notices. And please join us for an hour of kindness, great networking. We do great networking in 2 circles, and we often have like a 10-minute amazing inspirational speaker. And most importantly, the opportunity to spread conscious kindness in a group, in networking, and together. So we love it, and I invite you to join us. Again, it's completely free. We are spreading kindness around the globe. If you look on the left side of the screen, this is the Profit of Kindness in India. It's with the largest publisher in India. They publish Brian Tracy and Deepak Chopra, Keith Ferrazzi, and now me. So that's a blessing. And on the right side is the book in Russian. And as we know, we need lots more kindness in Russia. So we are spreading kindness around the globe, and come join us monthly. It'll be great to have you. 3rd Wednesday of every month. Just put it in your calendar, 10 a.m. I want to show you what, that's 10 a.m. Pacific, by the way. I want to show you, when I wrote Guerrilla Publicity, this is the 3rd edition, as I mentioned, I was able to talk to the editor, and I interviewed great people for Guerrilla Publicity. One of them was the editor of Entrepreneur Magazine. Now, remember in the beginning I said to you for about the planting your seeds? Because look at what she said. For the June issue, the writer's deadline is January. What is that? 6 months ahead. And you got to be starting preparation to talk to them 9 months ahead, right? And you notice their June issue is done in March. So I think that's a really good thing for you to be aware of and conscious about and connected to, so that you all understand the power of setting yourself up well and right for getting your publicity out there. Who's with me? Is this making sense? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Let me see it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Now, my friends, here's the thing I want to say that's important too, and that is the power of saying yes, right? In publicity, I made a sign for you. See, I made a sign for you. You must say yes. And that's really important for the opportunity of getting yourself out there. And so what I mean by that is saying continuously, yes, I would love to talk about that. Absolutely, I can be a guest for that. And so when we're looking at that, the power of yes is what extends to everybody saying yes to you. Okay? So I think that's a key for all of your success. And you take good care. We'll see you again. Ciao, everyone.
Thank you. I want to say I really love the kindness circle. I've been a couple times now and I will likely go every month. It's an amazing hour of just connecting with people who are all about kindness and, spreading love and things. So it's really a really wonderful circle. And I'm really excited to hear that the Kindness Diaries guy is going to be there. Apparently, he had a documentary too on Netflix and, he spreads kindness all over the world. So I'm excited about that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Erin. Um,
Um,
yes, and I just want to talk about the breakouts in the kindness circles every month. It happens without fail. The Zoom magic puts you into the room with exactly who you need to meet. I've seen it over, and we've been doing these for 5 years now. I've seen it over and over again. So please join us. It's free to register, and you'll automatically get notified of every month going forward. So you only need to register once. And
yes.
I hope you can join us.
Yeah, thank you. And Mary Beth, please drop Jill's link for her freebie into the comments as well so that everyone can grab the freebie. And what was the free gift?
It's Jill's publicity action guide, and the URL is jilllublin.com/guide. And I'm putting that in the chat as
Perfect.
well.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. And I will be speaking next. So I'm going to put myself on spotlight. And okay. And let me start my timer because I want to make sure I don't go over my 20 minutes. All right. So everyone, I will be speaking about, actually, this is the wrong notes. Ah, it's one of those days. Hold on one second. Okay, I'll be speaking about how to stay positive and confident during times of challenge. So, today, we are living in a world where there's a lot of challenge, right? Every single day, whether that's personal challenges in our lives, whether that's what's going on in the world. So, during times of challenge, I want to ask you, do you run and hide from those things, or do you face it and rise? Okay, so that is the big question. This is the time where you and your message are so needed to uplift and empower others. Your confidence and your message is more important than ever, even more important during times of struggle. Okay, and Andrea is going to be talking at the end about video and how to be confident on video. And that's how you can spread your message more too, right? By being on video, making video, things like that. So your success on the other side of your challenge, whether that is a personal challenge, whether that's how you're dealing with things going on in the world, is going to depend on how you deal with it while you're in it, right? Like while it's going on. So today you're going to learn how to stay positive and you're going to learn how to stay motivated through challenging times, how to keep your confidence up so you can keep moving forward and gaining momentum while we go through the challenges. How you can be a beacon of light during this time of uncertainty. How times of challenge are actually an opportunity for growth. How it's an opportunity to serve, to grow yourself and your business. And I want to tell you too that leaders are actually born in times of crisis, and leadership requires confidence. Okay. So I like to say when I'm struggling with, things that are going on in the world, whether it's my own stuff or the world, my people need me now more than ever. Right? Because during times when we're challenged, we tend to want to run and hide under the covers, right? We want to not show up for ourselves or for others, but helping or like reminding yourself and remembering that your people need you now more than ever is going to help you to keep showing up. Okay. So I'm going to be asking you some questions too, and I'd love to hear from you in the chat when I ask some questions. Keep it a little interactive here as well. So make sure to type into the chat when I ask you some questions. Yes, leaders are born in times of crisis. Absolutely. So, okay. I just want to share really quickly about my story. So, I actually am, I'm a confidence transformation coach now, for those of you who don't know me, but I used to be very, very shy. I grew up very shy, even all the way through college and beyond that. I was fairly shy. It would take me a long time to warm up and start being more myself around people. However, I always knew that I was put on the planet for a reason. Always knew that I was here to make a difference, to make an impact. So back in, well, I got a psychology degree in college. Wasn't sure what I wanted to do with that. And then in 2008, I had gone to a few network marketing parties at the time. It was the same consultant every time, same type of party. And she asked me every single time, do you want to join my team? As they do. And I said, absolutely freaking not. I don't speak in front of people. I don't, no way. I'm not going to be selling things in front of people or giving, talks and sales presentations and all that. And then one day something changed. I knew that I needed to do something different. So I called her and I said, Rose, I do want to join your team. And so this wasn't just like Mary Kay or Tupperware or anything like that. This was actually passion parties. So I went from super, super shy to, hello, let me sell you some lotions, potions, things that go buzz in the night, right? So I went from just being like absolutely not speaking in front of people to selling romance enhancers, right? And so I did that for 5 years. I built a team. I was top in sales almost every single month on my team. But during that time, I met my first life coach, and she was one of our leaders. And she really taught me about how I can change my mindset, how I can grow, how I don't have to stay the same my whole life. I can change, not who I am, but I can unpeel the layers of fear and limiting beliefs and all the things that were that I had gathered over my whole life. And some of the reasons why I was shy, right? That I could release some of those things by changing my mindset and working on that kinds of thing. So here we are, 17, 18 years later, and I'm a confidence coach. I not only do talks for groups like this online, I do Facebook Lives. I've run retreats. I've done my own events, all these different things because I've been able to get outside my comfort zone, grow my confidence. And I love what I do because I love watching women transform. I love watching them thrive. I love watching them light up and be able to shift when they find when they're able to really step into their authentic selves and they're able to release those old beliefs and fears that are holding them back. And so one of the things I always talk about is that my vision for the world, for my life, was always bigger than my fears. So I always knew that I was here to change, to make changes, right? To help impact the world. And so I didn't allow those fears and those beliefs that limited me and held me back to get in the way. I always kept moving forward. So it's really important to look at your vision, and that's the first step to stay positive and confident during times of challenge, right? So the vision is the first thing. And you see behind me here, I have this, I have to go backwards, got vision, right? And so this got vision, and these three things on my wall are part of my card deck that I created. It's a confidence building card deck, like an oracle card deck, but for confidence. And got vision is one of the cards. And it's very, very important. That's where I always start is what is the big vision? Right? What is it that you really want to create in your life? How do you want to help people? And how do you want to feel? Because when you get into fear, right? When you start having these moments of fear and you let those limiting beliefs hold you back about who you are, what you can accomplish, what you can have, that's when you start to shrink. So you want to look at, what do I want? How do I want to feel? Right? You have to know what your vision is, because when you are able to look at that big vision, you can get past those fears. You can move past the things that are holding you back and keeping you small. So I see a world, part of my vision is I see a world where women are more empowered, right? They're shining their light. They're shattering those limiting beliefs. They're busting through fears, right? I see life-changing transformational retreats every year, destination retreats all over the world. And I have my vision board right above my computer. So every single day, when I sit at my desk, I can look up and I can see the pictures of women on the beach at retreats, right? And those are my retreats, right? And so I can just envision that. So you want to get really clear on the things that you really want, that big overarching vision. These aren't goals, these are overarching, like the big, big picture. And then you put the goals underneath. So ask yourself, what do I want? Why do I want it? I'd love to hear from you in the chat too. What do you want? Why do you want it? And how do you want to feel? The second thing is to let your passions inspire you. Your passions are going to help you stay positive. So, what lights you up? What or who inspires you in life? Is it a person, a current person? Is it a family member? Is it, a past person? Like I did a talk last week um, about being the light. And I talked about Gandhi and how he was a shy introvert, but he made massive changes in the world by doing quiet actions of things like hunger strikes, right? And so he is an inspiration to me because he was able to quietly shake the world, right? Quietly make his difference. He wasn't loud and screaming at the top of his lungs, right? He was quietly shaking the world and making a difference. So, for me, I'm really passionate about supporting women to let go of what holds them back. They're playing small, right? And to help them believe in themselves more, to stand in their power and to reach for more than they ever thought possible, so that they can be the light for other people too, right? So, what are you passionate about? What do you dream of? I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. And then how can you, once you know what you're passionate about and what you dream of, how can you turn those passions and dreams into something to help others? So if you're struggling with not knowing how to help people with motivation, knowing what lights you up, what excites you, what inspires you will help you figure out how you can help. Your passions will help you to automatically light up and stay positive, right? So I'm passionate about kindness and spreading love. And so one of the things that I started doing about 10 years ago, and I've done it off and on over the years, I've been doing it consistently the last few months, is I'm passionate about kindness and love. And I've been making these hearts. And I have, if you've seen my posts on Facebook, I have all sorts of different fabrics, and I've made hundreds, if not over 1,000 or more hearts. And what I do is I take these with me, and they usually have a message on the back. This one lost its message, but the message says something like, I'm spreading love and kindness. This is to remind you that you are loved and loved in this world. Please pay it forward. And I give out hundreds of these. I give them out at the grocery store, or when I meet people on the street, or at events that I'm out and about at. And people light up, and they just absolutely love receiving love and kindness, right? So what can you do if you're into spreading love and kindness? What can you do to help out, or how can you share your light in the world? Maybe it's not giving out hearts, maybe it's just giving people compliments everywhere you go, just to make people feel good, right? So think about that. The next step is building self-compassion. So a lot of us right now are feeling an underlying current of sadness, of grief, maybe despair, uncertainty, some fear. And when we have these underlying levels of energy, low levels of energy, it can be really hard to stay motivated and to stay on track and to get things done. And I want you to know that it's okay. However you're feeling is okay. Be compassionate with yourself. Remember that when there's a lot of uncertainty in the world, we're going to have waves of emotions. Some days we might feel great, some moments we might feel great. Other times we might have a day or a moment or an hour where we are really upset, and that's okay, right? And sometimes we're going to make some mistakes, and that's okay too. Be compassionate with yourself, right? Our brains might not be fully functioning every single day right now when you're going through those times of challenge, right? So be gentle with yourself. Take as much time for self care as needed. That's very, very important. Self care. Okay. Be compassionate. Say, you know what? It's okay that I'm feeling not great right now. Things are going on, and I'm allowed to be, you know, not fully functioning. Or I'm allowed to crawl under the covers and just take some time, right? So it's very important, though, also to keep your confidence up, right? So the world really needs confident leaders, like I said at the beginning, to step up right now. And so your success and your confidence is created from the inside out. 80% of your success is going to be dependent on what's happening on the inside, your confidence level. Confidence is all about what's happening up here. So here's what I found with some of my clients that can get in the way is that, we all have these limiting beliefs. We all have these fears that stops us from getting to where we want to go, especially when there's uncertainty. So we can get overwhelmed, we stop moving forward, and I see a lot of women arguing for their limitations. I'm not enough. I can't do that because I don't have the capacity, the ability, the knowledge. I'm not smart enough, right? It could be your belief, could be somebody else's belief. I had a woman in my community years ago who, for the longest time, every month she would talk about how her husband wasn't supportive and that's why she couldn't be successful. And then one day, this like the light bulb went on, and she's like, "Oh my God, growing up, my dad always said women couldn't be successful." So for, at least 25 years of her life while he was living, she heard women can't be successful. He went as far as to quit a job because a woman became his boss. And then he passed away. And for 25 more years, she kept that belief because it was so far in the back of her mind, she didn't realize it was stopping her. And as soon as she realized that, she was able to start moving forward. She started getting, she became like a teacher. She taught classes in college, and she was doing all these different things because all of a sudden she was able to break through that belief. So we need to think about what are the things that are holding us back? What is in our head, what's in our minds that are telling us that we can't do something, right? So it's really, really important for us to get clear on our mindset, our limiting beliefs, our fears. It steals our confidence when we have these limiting beliefs and fears. So take action. What are some actions that you can take to share your message? And think about, am I sharing my message or am I holding myself back? Right? So taking action builds confidence. Do something. It could be just a little tiny thing. One post on Facebook. One sometimes I get a little shy about handing out my hearts, right? One heart given out to somebody helps build that confidence. So if you're feeling helpless, if you're feeling hopeless, remember that you can make a difference. Who you are makes a difference. All you got to do is be you. Okay, you are love and light itself. So the more confident that you are in yourself and who you are, the more your light shines, the bigger difference that you can make, and the more people you can impact. And it causes that ripple effect, right? So the more people you impact, even by just giving them a compliment, the more that ripple effect gets bigger and it grows and it helps more people. Okay. So it's really important to notice if you're feeling worthy. of creating the things that you want. And if you're hustling for worthiness is something I learned from Brene Brown. If you know about her, she talks about hustling for worthiness, where we are just working our tails to the bone, right? It's that rise and grind. It's that waking up at 5 a.m. so that we can just work our tails off, right? Hoping that you will feel worthy the more you get done. But worthiness really comes from deep within ourselves, not from the to-do list, right? So we need to work on that deep, deep self-worth. It's really critical to being confident and to making a difference in the world and to shining your light. Self-talk, that's another one, right? When times get tough, when times get challenging, we tend to forget our tools and we might not be as nice to ourselves as normal. Remember that self-compassion that I was talking about too, right? When there's a lot of challenge happening in our lives, we tend to start to beat ourselves up. We forget our tools. We forget to be kind to ourselves, right? So pay very close attention to the words and thoughts that you're having. Are you being positive towards yourself? Are you being uplifting and loving and kind and compassionate towards yourself? If not, change your words. Use I am statements, right? So if you're catching yourself being nasty to yourself, which we are our own worst enemies most of the time, try to shift those words or those thoughts into I am statements. I am kind, I'm loving, I'm amazing, I'm a bright light, right? I would love to hear some of your I am statements in the comments. So now is the time. This is the time to rise. This is the time to shine. This is time to build your confidence, right? To dig deep and to notice where you're holding yourself back. What are those beliefs? What are those fears that are stopping you? I am love. I love that, Larissa. Thank you. Be the light people are seeking. When people are afraid, they're seeking confidence and clarity from their leaders. They're seeking hope and light through the darkness. Okay, so be the light they're seeking. I'm encouraging you to be the light. And as we wrap up, and my time is up, I'm going to tell you really quickly about, I have 2 free gifts today. The first thing is I am creating for next month a webinar, a solo webinar. It's called Unshakable Courage, Reclaiming Your Voice, Power, and Worth. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be September 18th from 3 to 4 Pacific time. So if you type courage into the comments, I don't have the webpage set up yet for signups, but if you type courage into the chat, I will make sure to get you registered. And the other thing I'm offering is a free Confident Woman Visioning call where we talk about getting you to your next level of your vision and confidence, how to share your light more, and what's holding you back. So it'll help you to see where you might need to grow and expand and helping you to get there. So if you would like a free call with me, type call into the chat or send me a message and I will make sure to reach out to you for that. Okay, and without further ado, now we will bring on our next speaker. Got to grab my notes for our next gal. So many windows. Here we go. Okay, Larissa is next. So let me put Larissa up here. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, hi Larissa. Larissa Popov. Ignite your money magnetism, 3 energetic secrets to creating an abundant life and business. I love that. Larissa is an intuitive business coach who helps purpose-driven entrepreneurs create wildly successful businesses by blending practical strategy with spiritual wisdom. Drawing on her background as a former naturopathic doctor, she's a business mystic who helps clients master both enrollment and energy work, guiding them to navigate their nervous system and transform their soul's calling into consistent $10,000 months in as little as 90 days. Awesome. Because in her world, your biggest breakthrough might just come from a meditation cushion rather than a marketing strategy. I love that. Okay, take it away, Larissa.
Fire is one of the most powerful forces on the planet. And prosperity is the ability to make fire everywhere you go. If we lived in caveman times, if you knew how to build a fire, you could protect yourself from danger, you could light your way, you can cook your food, you can stay warm at night. But what happens when you're in the woods and the sun is going down and you're all alone and it's cold and wet and you don't even have a flashlight or a pack of matches to your name? I know what that's like. When in my first business as a naturopathic doctor, I came out of school with lots of letters after my name and lots of education and training and skills, and eyeballs deep in debt with no idea how to run a business and no idea how to make money. I was living at times on as little as $6 a week. If you can imagine, buying a coffee was a major financial decision for me. And fast forwarding to now, I have a successful 6-figure business helping other business owners create consistent $5,000, $10,000, and $20,000 months and helping them make that their new normal. The world is a jungle, especially now with all the chaos and uncertainty in the world. It can be a sunny meadow one day, or it could be a cold, dark, and damp forest. But when you know how to build a fire, it doesn't matter what happens to the markets or the interest rates or the economy, that you can trust your ability to always have more than enough money and resources to thrive in your life and to support your family and loved ones. So who's with me here? Put me in the chat if that's what you want, if you want to trust your ability to always have more than enough. Okay, awesome. Seeing some me's in the chat. So the first thing that we need to acknowledge is that you are the creator of that fire. It's not something you can delegate to your spouse or your friend or your Sherpa. You are the creator of your universe. Your version of you that exists as a reflection or a mirror of you out in what we call the external world is just a reflection of you. And you're the only one who can change what you're seeing in that mirror. In that sense, we are all Luke Skywalker or Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, right? We are the chosen ones, right? And it's really important to understand this because without this, without total responsibility, our power gets leaked, right? When we give our power away to circumstances like, oh, well, you don't understand. I'm uniquely unfortunate given the jobs that I have to juggle, or you don't understand because of my health, or you don't understand because of the relationships and this, the unique circumstances that I'm in. It's very hard to progress, right? When we give our power away to these circumstances and the people in our lives, it's very hard to create the abundance that we want because your path to abundance is unique and tailor-made for you and your own life. Nature is abundant, and abundance is your true nature. And I believe that every single one of us, regardless of our circumstances, is capable of having a prosperous life. And if you're a service-based business owner living in North America, there is absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be making at least 6 figures, if not a whole lot more. And regardless of whether you're an entrepreneur or not, because I know this community, we're speaking to all sorts of people from all walks of life, you alone are the one who ignites the fire of abundance in your life. Nature is abundant, and abundance is your true nature. And you are all right now as good a manifester as you can ever hope to be. The challenge is, are you manifesting what you really want consciously, deliberately, and consistently? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Fire needs 3 things to thrive. The first is the spark. Where does that spark come from? It's the strength of connection with that desire that comes from deep inside of you. And I'm not talking about your desire for another slice of pizza. I'm talking about that undeniable, irrefutable longing from your soul. I like to call it the calling. It's deeper than your preferences, your likes and dislikes. It cuts through all of it and it calls to you. And we all have one. We've all experienced it. We've all felt it at one time or another. And we all have a tendency to touch base with it here and there, but very few of us are actually living inside of and operating from that desire. Our connection to that spark has the power to obliterate self-doubt and allow you to feel motivated, enthusiastic, and creative every single day. So, similar to what Erin asked earlier, what do you really want in life? What is your vision for your life that kindles the most excitement, aliveness? Maybe it's a sensation of peace or love or joy in your body. What is that sensation that you experience? Those sensations are a feedback from your soul expressing itself through your nervous system, through your body as a guiding principle from your higher self to show you this is the path. This is the path to fulfilling your highest purpose. Follow this excitement, follow that aliveness. You know, people talk about follow your bliss, follow your joy. That's what they're talking about. And when your life becomes an expression of your highest purpose, and whatever that looks like, for what you were put on the planet to do, prosperity naturally follows. It's impossible to be broke because the universe supports you in the fulfillment of that purpose. So you can look at it in the big picture scheme of things in terms of of all of the possible things I could do with my life, what's most exciting to me, but you can also look at it at the microcosm, right? In terms of, for example, on my to-do list, which one of the following tasks is most exciting for me to do right now? Or which of the following dinner options are the most exciting to me right now, right? You can use it as a guiding force in every aspect of every decision you're making every day. So right now, I want you to identify something in your life right now, whether it's work related or something in your personal life, of all of the options that you have available right now, which option excites you the most? I want you to identify that. And I want you to do that first, okay? Make a note of it. And then when we get off the session today, you can go ahead and follow through on that. Okay, which one excites you the most, and go do it. So the second thing that a fire needs is fuel. The spark needs something to ignite to keep the fire going, right? The fuel is your decision and the devotion to act on your desire to the best of your ability, to the fullest extent possible, until you can't take it any further. Now that you've determined what gives you that spark, what's most exciting, the most desirable thing that you could consciously choose, your next task is to commit to creating what you say you want. And I like to call that state being 100%. How do we be 100%? You know, some of you, I'm sure at one point or another, have stood on a train station, right? Maybe it's at the subway or you've taken the train. Imagine you're standing on the platform and the train comes into the station and you know it's only going to be there for a limited amount of time. And the doors open on the train and you take that first step into the train and your other back foot is still standing on the platform. And imagine feeling this sense of indecision and uncertainty of, I'm not sure, do I move forward? Do I want to go? Do I want to go on the train? Do I want to go there? Do I want to stay? And being in this place of limbo and uncertainty, that's what it feels like when you're not 100%. So just notice what that feels like in your body. To kind of be half in, half out, neither here, neither there. It's really, really uncomfortable, and not in a good way. It creates a lot of tension, a lot of conflict. There's a lot of fears and doubts and questions, right? It's not a very solid and stable place to be. And now imagine taking that back foot and stepping into the train and saying, okay, I'm going. I don't know if I'm going to like it. I don't know what's going to happen next, but you step in, the doors close, and you're on your way. What does that feel like in your body when you're finally on the train and you've committed, you've made the decision, and there's no going back and you're just moving forward? What does that feel like in your body? You can say in the chat if you notice that. But generally what people notice is there's a feeling of peace, there's a feeling of calm. The nervous system calms down because it closed the loop, right? It's like you've made a decision, you've committed to it, you're moving forward. I've often noticed, I've experienced this sensation, maybe you have too, if you've ever flown on a plane, right? There's all this like hustling and rushing to, get to the airport and to get on the plane in time. But once you're on the plane and your bags are stowed and you sit down and buckle your seatbelt, it's like, okay, we're going, we're doing this, right? We're leaving, and you can let everything else fall by the wayside because we're moving forward. That's the feeling of devotion. That's the feeling of making that decision and committing to it 100%. So which sensation do you prefer? Do you prefer sitting on the fence, or do you prefer being 100%? Aaron was saying exciting, take a deep breath, and there's peace. Yes. So who here wants to feel safe and secure in their life? It's a very leading question, right? Who doesn't, right? Safety and security doesn't come from your circumstances. It doesn't come from how much money you have in your bank account or whether the conditions are favorable or unfavorable. It comes from your commitment. It comes from that devotion. Because if you really want what you say you want, the strength of your commitment and devotion alone is the greatest indicator of your success in realizing it. Your devotion alone is the greatest indicator of your success and ability to realize it. Nothing else. Most people say that they want something, but then they don't decide to commit to it, right? They're up forever hanging in the wings, waiting to be ready, waiting for a miracle to happen, waiting for the proof or the evidence to show up before they take action. Or as soon as they encounter a little bit of adversity on the journey, they just give up and they're like, oh, it must not be meant to be. Sometimes people get superstitious about it, right? But anything worth creating in life requires devotion. Learning to play an instrument, learning a new language, getting married, having a family, building a business. And yeah, devotion is an act of faith. Faith in yourself, in your abilities, faith in the journey, wherever it might take you, whether you like where it's going or it makes sense or it doesn't. And thirdly, having faith that there is some kind of benevolent, highly intelligent force, you could call it the universe or spirit or your higher self, that's behind everything, that wants you to win, that wants you to be successful. Having faith in these three areas consolidates your energy and makes you so strong. And conversely, when there's any part of you that is anything less than 100%, that's doubting that you can have it, that's doubting that it's going to work out, that doubt makes you weak and it scatters your energy. It's like when you want to use the toaster and you want to go plug it in, but if it's not plugged in all the way, it doesn't work, right? You have to have it plugged in all the way so that the current can flow, or you don't get any power, right? Nothing less than all in allows you to have all of your power. So now you're tapped into your desire. You're committed, you're devoted 100% to realizing what you want to the best of your abilities. Now what? The third element is oxygen. Oxygen is everywhere, and similarly, all of the resources that you need to manifest the life and business you want are also all around you. But if you're not going out there and showing up and taking the necessary actions and going to that oxygen, you're going to constantly put the fire out. So why aren't we taking in more oxygen, you might say? Because we're wearing Spanx, right? The ego is like Spanx. You notice it's kind of hard to breathe. They're super tight. When do we wear Spanx? When we have an event that is a really big deal, right? You want to look good. You want to make a great impression. You want to be in control, right? But really, it's just squeezing. It's just contraction. So think of a decision or action that you know would move you closer to having what you really want in your life, bring more oxygen, but the thought of doing it makes you contract somewhere inside. It makes you nervous, you're afraid, you're doubtful, you get tense. Any negative emotions that you experience in response to your desire is just your Spanx talking. It's just your ego, because your ego exists to keep you safe, and it sees anything new, any change that you might want to make, as a threat. And what that contraction is actually inviting, it's important not to ignore. Don't ignore that sensation. Be present with it, acknowledge it, honor it. And that contraction is what it's really calling for, is for opening, to expand your capacity, to expand your range of full self-expression, so that your actions go from being a big deal to no big deal. Why is it that you don't wear Spanx when you're sitting on the couch watching TV? Because it's no big deal. It's well within the range of your capacity. You do it really easily, right? So increasing your capacity to receive means knowing that your full self-expression is financial freedom. To the extent that you are fully expressed is the extent that you can create the financial freedom you want. And it's because it's your ability to show up and meet life on its own terms. Now, people have come up to me and said, well, they look at what I've accomplished and they say, well, it's been easy for you because of blah, blah, blah. And I say, well, actually, I used to have terrible social anxiety. And I think we're having some similar stories with Erin and maybe with Andrea possibly too. I grew up being terrified of meeting people. So you can imagine having to go to a networking event and talk to total strangers, having to go out there and promote my business, having to go on social media and be on camera and be filmed. It was terrifying. I used to have to spend sometimes as much as half an hour doing breathwork and meditation just to calm myself down to be able to do it. It was such a big deal. And now these things are not a big deal at all. And right now you have certain things, a range of actions and identities that you feel comfortable and familiar with. For example, you might see yourself as really organized, or you're a really good speaker, but you're not good at sales, or you're not a very social person, or you're conservative with money, right? We have all these identities and judgments, but I say, who says? The truth is, you don't know who you are. You have no idea what you're capable of. And as soon as you start walking, talking, thinking, and acting like the version of you that has what you really want, you instantly become that person and step into that reality and everything that goes along with it. So I say, let's all do this together. Rip off the labels. Whatever labels you have about what you think you can do and what you can't do and what you're capable of and what you're not, rip it off. And then you enter into the beautiful, I don't know what's going to happen next. Because the life that you have right now is just a direct reflection of the version of you that you are now, including your beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors. And in order to create a new reality where you can receive more and have more of what you really want, it requires that you think differently, you believe different things, and you behave differently. So your desire will require you to do uncomfortable and scary things that don't make sense, things that stir up your fears and chaos, or things not even turning out the way you want them to. But through taking those actions, they become no big deal. And before you know it, it becomes no big deal to choose more of what you want, to have more ease, to allow more money into your bank account. And when you have the courage to step into the beautiful I don't know, your Spanx will stretch as far as needed, and you can feel safe and confident only doing what's required in the moment. And that's when you really discover the magic of your ability to create everything you want in your life. Whatever it is, the more you're able to show up and take care of what's required in the present moment, the more the future takes care of itself. So what do we need to create the fire of prosperity? The spark of desire, the fuel of our devotion, and the oxygen of action. And I know I've shared a lot with you today, and right now it's going in at the head level, but now we need to integrate and embody it. So because I work with entrepreneurs, if you're a purpose-driven entrepreneur and you're ready to create the fire of consistent clients and money in your business, and you're resonating with anything that I've shared today, I'm offering a gift bundle valued at $497 free for the first 20 of you who click the link, and it includes my abundance activation ritual, a powerful frequency shifting practice, as well as a free ticket to my next live workshop called Money Mantras, Unlocking the Codes to Money, Wealth, and Success in Your Business. So, oh, perfect timing. Exactly 20 minutes. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Grab yours now and let's get the fire going in your business.
Yay. Thank you. That was awesome. I loved, I wrote down doubt makes you weak and scatters energy. That's amazing. I love that. Thank you. And everyone, Larissa dropped her link for her free gift into the chat, so make sure you grab that as well. And now we will bring on our last but not least speaker, Andrea. So let me pull up her intro really quick. Andrea Stenberg will be talking about simple steps to show up confidently on video, even if you think you're not ready. Andrea Stenberg is a video marketing coach and recovering shy introvert like me. Yay! Who helps coaches, course creators, and healers show up confidently on camera, build trust fast, and attract aligned clients without feeling fake or salesy. I love it. Thank you so much. Take it away, Andrea.
Well, first I want to say, so I started my business in 2005 doing offline marketing for offline businesses. So I did not come to this, doing video marketing. That's not where I started. I started offline. But in 2018, I was starting to see the writing was on the wall, that video was going to be the future of online marketing. And I thought, okay, Andrea, you got to figure it out for yourself before you can advise your clients. So my number one business goal in 2018 was to make more videos for my business. And that year, can you guess how many videos I made? I did three all year, 12 months. I did 3 videos. And, it was for the same reason that nobody wants to make videos. I didn't like how I looked on camera. I thought, okay, I'm too old. I got weird hair. You know, I was intimidated by the technology. First time I tried to edit a video, I nearly threw my computer out the window, like it was this close. And I didn't know what I'm supposed to say on videos. And then, at the end of 2018, like a lot of entrepreneurs, I started beating myself up for not achieving my goal. I was like, Andrea, what's wrong with you? Are you lazy? Are you stupid? Like what? But I'm kind of stubborn. So January 2019 rolls around and video was on the top of my to-do list again. And then about 2 weeks into January of 2019, I saw an ad on Instagram from somebody I followed who had a course that you were going to go live every day for 30 days and you were going to learn everything you need to know about video. And I literally have never pulled my credit card out of my wallet so fast in my life. Like I think it was smoking. I signed up for the course and imagine my crushing depression when I realized that this course was actually just a PDF with 30 topics and a hashtag to use. But I persevered. I actually went live 28 out of 30 days, including one day I was visiting my sister, and in her house, it was like there were full of people and it was noisy. And the only room that was quiet enough where I could go live was in the bathroom. And I actually sounded like I was broadcasting from the bottom of the toilet because it was all echoey and horrible. And it was not a good video, like, let me tell you. But so at the end of the 28 days, I thought, okay, if I can go live in a bathroom, like I'm not scared of that anymore. But I still didn't have it as a marketing strategy. Like these 30 topics that she gave me were generic for everybody, and it didn't really help me figure it out. But I started playing around and experimenting. I also started trolling the internet and looking for people who were doing interesting things with video. And then I started doing something completely un-Canadian is I would start reaching out to people and like strangers and send them DMs and say, would you hop on Zoom? Could we get on a call? I want to talk to you about what you're doing. And so I spent the whole year doing that. And at the end of 2019, I had finally sort of figured out how to make video part of a marketing strategy. Um, and so, but it took me 2 years, 2 years of trial and error, lots of error. But I wanted to tell you this just to say that I think a lot of people who are hesitant to using video, they look at somebody who's been doing video for years and say, oh, well, look, they're just naturally good at it. And I'm here to tell you, I'm not naturally good at it. I'm not natural at it at all. And if I can learn to do it, so can you. Like truly. But why is video so important for us? And I think part of that is that story I told about that course that I bought. I think that when we're buying things online, everybody's got that fear in the back of their mind. If I buy it, what if it's not what they said? And particularly, like if you help people with their business, if you help people with their money, if you help people with their health, if you help people with their children, they really need to trust you. They really need to trust you. And that's where video comes in, is because if you get on video and show your face, people get to see that you, first of all, that you're a real person. You're not some evil dude in the corner of the dark web doing nefarious things. You're a real person. They get to virtually look you in the eye and sort of make a judgment about whether they trust you. Also, when you're doing your videos and speaking on camera, people get a chance to see, oh, maybe this person really does know some things. And they get a taste of your personality and your style and see if you're a good fit for them. And, but if you are doing your video marketing strategy right, people start envisioning themselves working with you. For example, Natalie is a business coach and she is an expert in her area. She really knows her stuff and she is a brilliant speaker in person. She can speak in front of 10 people. She can speak in front of 200 people. She's absolutely confident in that realm. But she was scared to death of video. And I think it was the same as all of us. Like I said, she didn't like how she looked on camera. The technology intimidated her, and she was worried about making mistakes and not making perfect videos. And so she finally got persuaded to try it. Just try it. And she would like really just dipping her toe in the water because she said, okay, I'm going to record a video and I'm going to upload it to LinkedIn because LinkedIn is where she was doing her networking and marketing. And she said, but I'm going to delete it right away because I just want to make sure I know which buttons to push and how to make it work. And then after, I'm going to make a perfect video. And so she uploaded this video. She'd done a little video about her talking about her area of expertise, but she didn't do her hair, she didn't do her makeup. It wasn't perfect. She stumbled over some words, it wasn't perfect. So she uploaded it to LinkedIn, and then she got distracted and didn't delete it right away. I think like somebody came to the door and so she went and then she came back and she was absolutely horrified to see that not only had people watched the video, like some people had liked, there'd been a couple of comments, and she actually told me later that she was really mad that people had seen this less than perfect video. And but then now she had a dilemma. Like what does she do? Because these people have watched the video and she was going to delete it. So she hemmed and hawed for a while and decided, okay, I'm going to sleep on it tonight and then tomorrow I'll delete it. So she went to bed. Next morning, she gets up, opens up her LinkedIn. She's about to delete the video. And then she notices she's got a DM in her LinkedIn direct messages. And it's from the executive director of an organization whose members are all ideal clients of Natalie. Like every one of them could be an ideal client. And the executive director said, we were in the process of making a training video for our members or training program for our members. And I just watched your video and we decided we don't want to create this training program anymore. We want to hire you to do it. And that's the power of video. Now, first of all, I want to say Natalie is a unicorn. Nobody gets a major client from their very first video. But it goes to show why we do marketing and why we keep doing marketing is you can control your message and what you say. And you can control a lot of, who sees your message by who you target, how you network with people, where you post, all that sort of thing. But you don't have any control over when your ideal clients are ready to buy. And that's why you want to be consistent and keep putting marketing out there because you want to be in front of your ideal client when they're ready to buy. And that's what happened to Natalie. It just happened to be her first video. And because people could see her, they could see her energy, they could see her knowledge and expertise, they could also see her style, and it was a good fit for them. And they thought, oh, like we can't do better than this, let's hire her. And that's your goal with video is you want people to look, know, like, and trust you. They see your face, they get to feel what it's might be like to work with you, and they see you as the expert that you are. So what stops a lot of people? So one of the early things that people say is, "Oh, I don't have enough equipment. I'll do video when I get like a right camera, when I get the lighting, when I get all the stuff." And I say, "No, no, 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 no. If you've got one of these, you've got everything you need to get started, or a webcam, but whichever device you use. If you can get on Zoom, you can make video." And in fact, I've seen videos by Tony Robbins, like Tony Robbins, rah rah, Tony Robbins, who was making video back in the day when we still had VHS and he had to have a crew of people to do that. I've seen him make videos that he's very clearly holding it in his hand, speaking to the camera. And why? Why is the Tony Robbins, who's certainly got lots of videographers and lighting people and all that stuff on tap, why is he doing videos with his phone? Because all the data shows is if your video is too polished, too perfect, too produced, it doesn't perform as well as more authentic videos because I think what happens is we're so used to if something's really polished, there's lots of cuts, there's all flashy stuff, our brain goes commercial. And what happens when we see a commercial? You get up and go fix yourself a snack. You go go answer the phone. You go change the channel on the TV station. So that's why even Tony Robbins is making kind of off the cuff, not highly polished videos because they're connecting with people. So if Tony Robbins can hold up a phone and talk to the phone, why can't we? I mean, he's smart and talented and successful. Why can't we do it too? So do not wait until you have gear. If you have a smartphone that you've bought in the last 7 years, it's good enough to make videos. If you've got a webcam that you use, whether it's built into your laptop or you've got a standalone one that you use for going on Zoom, it's good enough to make videos. So don't let gear hold you back. I mean, certainly once you get really rolling on video, you might decide to upgrade some things, but it's not necessarily. So just start with what you have. The second thing that holds people back a lot is they get really worried about, oh, I don't, I look too old, I look too thin, I look too young, I look too fat, I look too whatever, I'm not good enough. Or what if I make a mistake, or I'm stumbling over the word, or I don't have the perfect thing. And one of the things that I see with my clients is when you're and even with myself, when you're in that state where you're starting to think about all the things that could go wrong, it's because you're focusing on the wrong thing. Because you're focusing on yourself and the outcome that you want to get and what people are going to think about you. So if you're in that state and you're going, oh, all the things that could go wrong with you to try to make a video, flip it around and think of that one person that you want to reach, somebody who is struggling. What's their pain that you can help them with? And think about what can I say on video that will let them know they're not alone? And as soon as you start thinking about the other person, all those fears about making a mistake and looking foolish or, like I don't have the lighting right or the video, that starts going away when you really think about that one person who needs to hear your message. And I've seen it time and time again. It's like that you get in that frantic state of worrying, but then when you focus on that other person, because most of us started our businesses because we wanted to help people. So when you focus on that person, and you don't have to focus on millions, think of one person that you want to reach who's struggling or in pain or whatever it is that you help them with, and think about, can I say something to them that will make them feel a little bit less alone and the stress goes away. And the other thing I want to say about sort of, if you're struggling to get started, is give yourself permission to be a beginner. Nobody starts out looking like Tony Robbins on camera. Tony Robbins didn't start out looking like Tony Robbins. If you go back, if you have the patience to go way back in my feed to the beginning and look at some of my early videos, they're terrible. They were terrible videos. They were ugly. I stumbled over words. I can't. If I'm editing and like when you see the waveform, it goes the up and down, I can look at one of those and see where an is because I said so often because I was so uncomfortable. And I didn't die. I didn't lose my business. I didn't lose my house. My husband didn't leave me because I made bad videos. So you give yourself permission to be a beginner because the sooner you get started, the sooner you can start getting better. So get started. Now, if I've got you convinced that video is important and that you can probably actually do it, an easy way to get started is go through your social media or your blog or your email newsletter and pick something that you've written that you're really proud of. Like you think, oh, this really comes from my heart. It shares what I want to share with people and turn it into a video. Use whatever your caption, your email, your blog post as the outline for your script. Pick up your phone and just talk. Say what you have to say and go ahead. And you can, once you've been doing video for a while, you can worry about, okay, am I looking at the right place? Am I encouraging people to engage with me? Am I remembering to smile? Am I remembering to breathe? But at the end of the day, if you start with something you already know really well and you've already written about it, and just talk and put it out there. And actually one of the easiest things to do is go live, because if you go live, if you make a mistake, you just have to keep going. Think about if you were at a Chamber of Commerce networking event and you go and you speak to somebody and you stumble over a word, you don't run out of the room and then come back and start over. You just correct yourself and keep going. So you can do that with a live video. But if you're looking at me going, Andrea, no, I can't do that. No, 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 no. Pick up the phone, even if you don't show it to anybody, pick up the phone and record it to just start. And I promise you, it's not going to be as bad as you think it is. You will be your own worst critic. And then the next thing is if you do that and you go, okay, what's next? What's my next video? Because now you've taken action, you started the ball rolling. My free gift, I have a guide called the 7 Essential Videos for Explosive Growth. So if you do a video based on one of your blog posts or social media posts, that's one video. Get my free guide, that's 7 more videos. If you make one video a week, you've got 2 months of videos all ready to go. And once you've done that many, then you're going to be on the roll to keep going. So just remember, give yourself permission to be a beginner and think about who you're speaking to. Don't get in your head about yourself and what people think of you. Focus on who you're trying to help and then just take action. Take action, get started, and I promise you it's not going to be as scary and as hard as you think it would be. And as you go, you will continue to get better.
Awesome. Thank you. That was great. And I just kept thinking about myself too and how I was very shy and very hesitant to do videos at the beginning and how my videos were very scripted and very stiff and uncomfortable. And yeah, it's so much better when you can just be yourself and and I said in the comments, the videos that have gotten the most traction and action for me have been the ones where I show up with no or little makeup, my hair, in a hoodie and all the things, and yeah, not sitting in my office looking perfectly polished. So thank you, Andrea. And I will put me back on spotlight. Thank you everyone for being here. Speakers, Larissa, will you drop your link back in the comments again, just so everyone has easy access to it? And I'll put Jill's back in there again. And then I will also drop my stuff in there again. Again, just a reminder, everyone, I'm going to be doing a solo webinar next month about unshakable courage, how to reclaim your voice, power, and worth on September 18th. So I put that information in the chat. And also, if you'd like to have a free call with me, we can schedule that as well. That's a confidence visioning call to help you to build more confidence, look at your vision, and really grow and expand that confidence and worth and all that stuff. So let me know if you're interested in that. Just type call in the comments or courage if you'd like to sign up for the webinar. And let me see. And I think that's it. So everyone, thank you again so much for being here. Appreciate it. And yeah, we will see you next time. Thank you so much, everyone. I will have the speakers stay really quick for a couple minutes. And thanks so much, everybody, for being here. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.